everybody, John Churchwell back here again with another video, and today I bring you once again another review of the Flash TV series. Yes, it's finally here again. Today's Tuesday night, and I just got finished watching the newest episode of The Flash titled Going Rogue, and goddamn, it was one fucking badass fucking episode to say the least. I don't know, it's really fucking amazing how The Flash continues to develop as a series. I mean, like, in comparison to other comic book TV shows on TV right now, it's hands down my favorite, and I personally think it's the best. Like, some may differ, some may, like, still linger on to Arrow or what have you, but come on, you just have to admit, this episode was hands down badass, and it definitely tops all previous episodes. I mean, I get the feeling like every single episode that continues to go on just continues to top the series more and more. And this one definitely is my favorite episode so far. And also features, personally, one of my favorite characters in the entire Flash Rogues Gallery, Captain Cold. Yes, Captain Cold has finally come to Central City, and he's here to take down the Red Streak as we know it. It was pretty badass. Just for a brief synopsis of the entire episode. First off, some spoilers, of course, if you have yet to see the episode. If you haven't watched it yet, this review will contain spoilers. So go watch the episode, fulfill your life, watch it, come back, and then let's talk shit about The Flash and how awesome it is. Nevertheless, the entire episode opens up really fun and hysterical. Like, there's another monologue of Barry Allen, of course, talking about how, you know, the lightning bolt that struck him basically gave him a life, and how he has friends now and has superpowers and all this stuff. And you have this great montage of him doing all these crazy things, which is in super speed, which is awesome. And then we pan from there into we get a good glimpse of the new villain, of course, which is Captain Cold himself, doing a heist on some kind of bank security truck, which is interesting. I think it was kind of cool how they set it up. I think it was really interesting. The effect was awesome. We get some really awesome Flash action sequences with him and his groupies or whatever, the Captain Cold's groupies and shit, just taking them down in super speed, which was awesome. Then we get to witness the development of these two rivals as we get to see the continuous episode continue to go on. And then we get another character into the show. Yes, a recurring character. Yes, Felicity Smoke has come to Central City to visit Barry Allen after his coma situation, which is pretty awesome. Yes, all the little girl and all of us fanboys is screaming right now because Felicity Smoke is on fucking The Flash, which is awesome. I was kind of, you know, at first I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool, like, she's gonna be on there, but how does that fit? Like, how is that like gonna, like, create tension for the show? Because we all know that somewhere down the line in the Flash TV series, over the course of the season, we will have a big battle crossover between Team Flash and Team Arrow. So I was trying to think, like, is her visiting Barry without Oliver's notice, like, the reasoning behind that? Like, I don't really know. It kind of seemed very consensual, like her being there really didn't have anything against Team Arrow. It was kind of like her just visiting Barry, discovering he has powers, which is cool. Everything was all fucking funny. I mean, I love the jokes in this show are just awesome. Like the speed jokes and everything is just amazing. And Felicity and Barry just play right off each other so awesome. It's just funny, hysterical, and cool. And we just can continue going on from there. But overall, in the comment section below, before I continue my review, in the comment section below, let me know what you personally think about the big battle crossover. What do you think ignites the battle between Flash and Arrow? Because there is going to be a specific episode titled Flash vs. Arrow, upcoming episodes. But what is it going to be about? Like, is it going to be because of Felicity? Is it because Barry doing something that he shouldn't have? Is it, you know, Oliver going to Central City to, you know, take him out or something because, I don't know, he's an asshole? I don't know, but it's pretty interesting to see what happens, and maybe this is the beginning of, like, why that is. But it's just awesome to see some crossovers going on. We all knew this was going to happen. It's good that it continues to go on. I just can't wait to see if Barry goes on The Flash anytime soon, because we all know the CW is working towards a TV version of Justice League, which we'll be seeing somewhere down the line at the end of this year, so it's inevitable that Barry's going to have to go to Starling City and, you know, I just want to see some awesome content there. But anyways, the overall show continues to go on. Captain Cold is obviously trying to think of a way to stop the red streak, and he discovers a way to do that with the infamous Cold gun. Yes, the ray gun from the comic books isn't really a ray gun in the TV show series. Apparently, the overall origin and basis of the gun itself, spoilers of course, apparently Cisco Ramon actually created the Cold gun in order to stop Barry Allen in case he ever went rogue. No pun intended, but you know. Anyways, apparently it was stolen from Star Labs and apparently given to Captain Cold, and that's his main weapon of choice now. And I thought it was kind of interesting to see how he got the gun. It was really cool, like how he just like holds in. It's like it was meant to be. It was like it was just written in the stones that Captain Cold will have this gun and use it against Barry Allen. It was just so cool. It was awesome. But nevertheless, we continue going on from there. Captain Cold's obviously testing Barry Allen's limits. You have some, you know, double dating going awry, which is pretty cool. You have Felicity, Barry Allen, Iris, Eddie. There's a whole bunch of cross, friction going around, which is funny and cool at the same time. And I don't know, like as much as I don't like the whole Iris, Eddie, Barry triangle thing, I think this episode actually did justice to that, because even though Joe, Iris, and Eddie debacle is still awry throughout the episode, them together in this episode at least did it for me this time around, because it was actually fun and entertaining, especially with Felicity there. I mean, like, I wish Felicity would be, like, after this episode, I feel like she should be in every Flash episode. I wonder if tell me in the comment section below if you feel the same, but nevertheless, we continue going on from there. Captain Cold's, of course, just trying to take over, just trying to, like, continue with his heist. He's trying to steal stuff. He's a bank robber. He's stealing jewelry. He wants to steal diamonds. He's going all over the place. He's trying to take the shit. And Barry is obviously trying to stop him. And Captain Cold discovers his one true weakness, which is, of course, having to save people, which I think was pretty cool. I actually liked the actor that they got to play Captain Cold, who is Wentworth Miller, who's playing Leonard Snart, aka, of course, Captain Cold. I think that was a great choice. He's really awesome, like, in this show. Like, it's, like, no pun intended, but he's really cold. Like, every single scene he's in, every line he delivers is very monotone, and he's, like, he obviously feels that he's a step above everyone else, and he's always a step beyond Barry, who is the fastest man alive. I thought that was really a good way to go with it, and it's really cool. But overall, there's a whole bunch of other really conflicting things going on. Other than that, of course, Barry has a problem with Cisco. Everybody pretty much has a problem with Cisco at this point, and there's real tensions between Team Flash. And I like how Felicity just comes in and tries to, like, not conceal, but, like, trying to get Barry to realize that if he continues to be angry at simple things, that he can create friction in the team, which is not a good way to go, because loneliness is not obviously the way to go, which, of course, Felicity knows from experience with Team Arrow, because Oliver's always like, every time something goes awry with Oliver, he goes to the island. So it's kind of like, she knows what it feels like to be alone and, depressing and shit. So I thought it was interesting how they continue to go on with the episode, and at the end feel okay with everybody. It's like, you know what, you did that, but I can see why, and we saved the day anyways. But anyways, in the end of the episode, it's very good the way everything goes together. Captain Cold obviously has his moments with Flash, which was pretty badass. Obviously, he's actually the only villain so far in the entire series who does not die and actually gets away from Team Flash, which was pretty interesting. And I like his snicker when Cisco calls him Captain Cold. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, he was like, you know what? I actually like that name, kid. I'm going to use it. So I thought it was kind of interesting how he's like how he just smiled at the fact that, like, Cisco was calling him Captain Cold, which was interesting. But nevertheless, the entire episode just pretty much goes on from there with, obviously, Captain Cold getting away. Barry is talking with Felicity. Felicity decides to go. Iris is obviously trying to convince Barry that Felicity could be the person for him, even though he's obviously in love with Iris, but she doesn't realize that yet. Once again, CW, damn you. Anyways, Felicity is going away back to Starling City, and of course, they have this really nice moment where Barry catches up to her, obviously with his Speed Force and shit. But anyways, he catches up to her, and they have like this really nice moment where they're like, it's kind of funny how we're in love with people who aren't in love with us. It's like we're kind of like made for each other, which I actually kind of liked, and it makes sense, because obviously Barry likes Iris, but Iris doesn't really care for Barry in that way. And Felicity obviously still has a thing for Oliver, even though it can't work because Oliver's a douche. So it's kind of like, it's kind of conflicting for these characters, where it's like they love certain people who don't really open up and love them the same way, and how they're kind of the same person, in a sense, which is kind of interesting. And they have obviously this one kiss that we saw from the teasers, which was pretty alright, and obviously Barry hits the bricks. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. It was hands down a really badass episode. It was pretty interesting to see how everything goes around. Captain Cold, badass, fucking awesome. Loved that shit. Wentworth Miller, I can't wait to see more of him as Captain Cold. And everything else was pretty awesome. The effects were great. The music choices were funny. The overall comedy was awesome. I loved Felicity on the show. It was pretty awesome to see Emily obviously come as Felicity on the show, which was cool. I hope we get to see more of that. And I give this episode a good 9 out of 10. It was that badass. It was amazing. Nevertheless, let's get into some Easter egg references. Nothing really huge. Once again, there wasn't anything big. We got Barry Allen mentioning possibly to Joe wanting him to be called the Flash, because which was a pretty interesting reference, because there's a specific sequence, spoilers, where Barry's talking to Joe, and he mentions the red streak, and they go back and forth, and he's like, you know what, I want to go with a new name that I think would catch on, and he says the Flash, and then he kind of gets stuck, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting how we kind of have to wait later in the season for him to develop the name the Flash, which is cool. But it's kind of funny to see, like, we're in the works of him being called the Flash. I just can't wait for that moment. But anyways, another really cool Easter egg references, which was the weaponry in Captain Cold's factory. There's a sequence where obviously the iconic scene that I talked about, where Captain Cold comes across the ray gun, the code gun, that he uses as his main weapon against Barry. His friend or whatever who stole it from Star Labs from Cisco brought multiple weapons with him, and all of them specifically look possibly like they could be used for the rest of the rogues. Like, once again, we also got another Easter egg reference, which I'll talk a little bit later in a sec, but it's kind of interesting to see that Captain Cold has this this mass collection of just ray guns that he can use to develop the rogues. And of course, the creme de la creme of all Easter egg references, which is, of course, the beginning and the formation of the rogues. So, of course, we all knew that this was coming. This was all teased from the beginning of the Flash series, that we all knew that we will get the rogues all together very soon to take on Team Flash. So it was kind of interesting to see in the ending sequence, the post-title sequence, where Snart is obviously speaking to someone that we can't really see, and he's talking about like how he's going to need help to take down the Barry, of course, the Red Streak, as we're calling him now, and discussing that he's going to need help and that all that nonsense to continue doing what he wants to do, and suggests that he should use this specific weapon and whether or not he likes fire, and of course calls him by one name, Mick. And we all know who the hell he's talking about, and that is Heatwave. Yes, our first reference of Heatwave. We haven't really seen as to whether or not what episode we will see the Rogues in full action, specifically Captain Cold and Heatwave team up. But it's pretty interesting that we finally are getting like some really good, interesting and awesome, setups for future villains in the Flash TV series, like the Rogues. So I'm pretty happy for it. It was pretty awesome. We didn't get any kind of crazy Harrison Wells kind of stuff, except for quite interesting enough. It was quite creepy to see how angry and mean he can get with Team Flash. Like, it's kind of, for anybody who wonders, like, God, that's really fucked up how he like talks to Cisco and Caitlin Snow, like, behind Barry Allen's back. It's like the second that gun was gone, he was so pissed off. He looked like he could have killed Cisco Ramon or Caitlin at that moment. Like, he was quite creepy and dark. So I guess it was as a fan of the series so far, it was kind of good to see like how Team Flash interacts with each other, possibly when Barry's not around. So it's like, when Barry hits the bricks, it's like, you little fucker, I told you, and you better not do that again, or I'll fucking, I'm gonna pull out the fucking lightning bolt and shoot at you, you fucking asshole. It was kind of creepy to see Harrison Wells get all dark. But anyways, the overall episode was awesome. We didn't get any flashbacks. Once again, we didn't get to see Robbie again, which is, what are you gonna do? And no flashbacks of anything. No Harrison Wells diabolical sequences for this episode, but there's always next week. But anyways, this is going to be the last Flash review for October until next week, which will be on November. I cannot wait for next week's episode. I don't know what that's going to be, but based off the teaser, we guess that we might get maybe a hint of Robbie Amell as the character that he should be already, so maybe it'll be kind of cool to see what happens there. And of course, the Clock King is coming back, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares against the Flash. We saw him how he fought against Arrow, so let's just wait and see. Anyways, in the comment section below, let me know what you personally thought about this entire episode. What did you think about The Flash Episode 4 going rogue? What did you think about Captain Cold? What did you think about the ray gun? What did you think about the whole situation between Captain Cold and Barry Allen? When do you think we'll get to see some interesting rogue type stuff? And nevertheless, just let me know what you personally thought about this episode. And of course, also, let me know what instigates the entire battle crossover between Team Flash and Team Arrow. So anyways, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And this has been John 12.